Good morning from Swan Lake Spiritual. That's Swan Lake behind me. It's such a beautiful morning that I thought I would do the reading outside for the week ahead. This is going to be for November 4th, and I am once again using the secret language of light. I just discovered light codes. I don't know if you've heard of light codes before, but you know how when you take a photo of the sun and you get that cool glare, and there's usually like a rainbow around it? Well, sometimes there's orbs and sometimes there's actual patterns, shapes, messages in those light codes. It's really cool. So I've joined a group and I've been learning about it. And as you know, I've been working with my light as a light worker. And this book, Secret Language of Light, has been a huge partner and help in the growth of my development and my skills. So yeah, the whole language of light, learning about light codes and using this deck has been working really well for us and for the collective conscious. So that's what I'm doing our reading today. And as I said, the sky and the light is just so beautiful that I thought I would come outside and do it. So that's Swan Lake behind me. There's some mist coming up off of it. Often the clouds above it make shapes, and quite often I see the shape of Vancouver Island, but I also get different shapes like hearts and feathers and messages from your loved ones. So it's really fun living where I live, and I thought I would share some of the beauty with you. So we're going to get right into it with our 4-card spread, just like last week. This is going to be our love, our soul truth. It's going to be our challenge. It's going to be our fear that we're trying to walk away from, what's not our soul truth, what action we can take to heal. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Our first card today is create space. So this is the predominant thinking in our present. Right now we're working on creating space. And do you know how we do that? We create space by getting rid of things. So I always like to use a physical analogy because it's really helpful for our brains to understand, right? We think mental health, mental, emotional, energetic. It's hard to tangibly put something to that when we can't see it. But when we can think about our home and how cluttered it gets, if you've moved, you understand. You think, oh, we don't have that much stuff to move. And you start opening cupboards and closets. And you're like, where did all this stuff come from? It accumulates over time, right? Just like our brains, just like our energetic field. We accumulate stuff. We take on stuff that isn't ours. We keep things that are ours, but we don't need to keep them anymore, that we're keeping them for too long. We need to let go. We need to create space. And so just like our home, we need to create space in our home to create peaceful, calm minds. Our environment outside reflects our environment inside. We need to do that with our mental body, our energetic body, and our physical body. We need to release things that no longer serve us so we can create space for something greater to come along. And this is our predominant belief this week. So that's beautiful. The next one is our heart, our love. What is it that our soul truth, divine animals. So right now, our heart loves working with animals. Right now, our soul is being called to recognize perhaps our power animal, our spirit guide animal, and recognize the importance of oneness with these animals. So if you have a pet, lean into spending extra time with your pet this week. Cuddle them, pet them, rub them, play with them. Build that connection with your pet and you'll watch your soul light on fire. When your pet does something funny and silly, doesn't that just make you chuckle and like bring so much joy to your life? So we're working with our animals this week. That's our soul joy. And I'll read the messages from the book in a minute. Number 3 is something that we're afraid of. That's not our soul truth. And this is soul love. So neglecting our soul and not giving ourselves the love that we deserve, not honoring our soul's love and path by following what we're being called to do, is our fear. And then lastly, it's going to be the action we need to take to change the energy around what isn't working for us, to release what no longer is serving us, to create space for more of what we want. Not surprising to me, inward revolution. You must go within. So every level of spiritual growth, every lesson you learn, every challenge you face, sets you up for the next one. It's like a spiral staircase. It never ends. It goes up and up and up, and you're continually learning lessons, and you're continually tested again and again to see if you behave differently, to see if you broke the pattern, to see if you'll do something different this time. And when you're done that lesson, you move to the next one and the next one. And each one prepares you for that. But we have to go within We have to go inwards to our third eye space, to our quiet mind, to listen, to hear, to receive the messages, and then to take the action. So going inward is the action, but it will prompt other inspired actions that we can take in alignment with our soul's love and path, which right now this week is working with our divine animals. Mila, do you want to come up? Oh, she's so cute. She's right under this. Oh my gosh. So I've got my table set up and she wants to jump up on the table and drink the water, but she's come up on the side where I've got everything in her way and she can't. She's so cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the meanings in the book. So our predominant belief this week is 38, create space. And then I will finish with a meditation for us, which will be on the inward revolution. I always finish with the meditation on the last card, but you can do some of the actions and journaling on any of the cards. So this is our predominant belief this week, heading into November 4th, is about making room for your dreams. Create space for new desires by learning how to be happy now. We all want certain things in our life to change, and it's up to each of us to do something about it. If you can apply action from a position of truly wanting change, you will create evidence of that desire as manifestations of change. Once you notice something you would like to change, take a breath and say, thank you. Recognizing what you want to change brings more clarity on what you would like to change it to. Your job is to create the space for your dreams and desires to fill. Do this and you will begin to receive direction and wisdom from going within. Oh, I just love the way these cards all tie together. You have empowered your whole being because you don't need conditions to change to feel joyous in the present. You are bathing in unconditional love. Breathe it in and enjoy how good you feel. Create this space by coming into balance, meditating, focusing on the moment, or thinking of a person, animal, place, or situation that makes you smile. Feel the smile stretch throughout your body and relax, knowing all that you desire is on its way to you. So if you want to do some inspired reflections and actions, each time you breathe out, imagine you are making space for soul wisdom. When you breathe in, feel yourself receiving soul wisdom. Once a week for half an hour, have a cleansing and cleaning bath by adding 1 cup of Epsom salt and a few drops of lavender essential oil to the warm water. Observe the physical spaces between everything. The spaces define the physical. The space between is what defines the physical. And I believe there's some journaling. So if you want to journal to create more space to continue to anchor in this predominant belief this week, draw or write a list of what gives you joy. Then write a list of your daily activities. Compare the two and adjust accordingly. I love this one because like our animals, right? They can give us so much joy and that can make it onto your list. So playing with your animal should be part of your daily joy list. Awesome. Okay, so that was our predominant belief. Now we're moving into our soul's love, our soul's truth, our love. So this is Divine Animals, number 22. And this is what makes our hearts sing this week. So Divine Animals, soul companions on your journey. Spend time with your pet or in the company of any animal to realize the same light that flows through you, flows through all living creatures. We all create different containers for our soul experiences, depending on our individual desires and dreams. Humans experience greater contrast than animals. That is why our influence and creations are wider reaching. However, this also makes it easier for us to split and stray from our hearts. Animals reflect the divine love that we are. When we are around animals, it is easier to move into alignment, where we can be inspired to grander creations. People often believe they receive unconditional love from an animal, as an animal is more likely to be aligned with its soul instinct and doesn't need you to be different to who you are for it to feel loved. You will feel free to be who you are. When you emulate this behavior for yourself, life becomes more relaxed, loving, and your relationships will catapult to a whole new level of joy. So the animals can teach us a lot about how we live in our day-to-day, and our connection with the animals can help improve our quality of life and help our heart expand with the love that we want to give away and share with the world. Okay, so the journaling and reflection activities for the divine animals are soul love. Practice the shape-shifting meditation and write about your experiences. How does this animal view life? So there's a meditation that goes with this card that I'm actually not doing today. If you want it, let me know. Send me a PM or a message and I'll send you a link to the recording I have. And you can do it. You can also decide that your pet is a companion instead of something you own. So treat your pet like a friend, like a family member, like someone you talk to and have a relationship with and interact with and engage with. It's not just something you own that you watch or sit or take care of. You interact with it. You have a relationship with it. And also practice being calm and assertive around your animal and observe what happens. So notice, is your energy frantic or angry or loud? What happens when you shift your energy to something that's more calm and assertive? How does your animal behave? And if you want to do some journal work, draw or write about what animal you would like to be and why. Oh, I love that question. And that's a really fun reflective exercise to do. Okay, next we go to our fear, something that is not our soul truth, which is soul love 33. Interesting that we got 22 and now 33. So soul love, this is our soul fear, something that our shrinks our heart, and it's unconditional love. So it's going to be the opposite of this, of course, right? We're not afraid of unconditional love, or maybe we are, and maybe that's the reflection in the messages that we're not letting in or receiving enough love. But you are clear, pure love. Nothing from your past will block your dreams. Your future will be nothing like what your future will be nothing. Your future will be like nothing that has ever been before. You are at the center of your universe, looking outward through your experiences. When you look out in balance, you are seeing through love and will experience many variations of love. Make love your purpose. Find it wherever you can. If you begin to introduce anything to your world that does not feel like love, shift your awareness, your energy, or your eyes until you return to love. Become so devoted to your purpose of love that no one will sway you from it. Unconditional love is not about tolerating or diminishing yourself to make another feel good. These are conditional actions that will make you feel less or resentful. If you are trying to believe something that is not your truth, it will feel awful because you are not in alignment with your soul. Your job is to feel balanced in every moment. If you can't, go easy on yourself, as it's just a sign you are yet to love something about yourself. So your soul fear, the thing that makes your soul unhappy, is not recognizing this unconditional love, is not stepping into this oneness and receiving and accepting the love that you are, and not acting from a place of love. When you're out of alignment and it feels awful, that's what your soul dislikes. So number 42, inward revolution. Oh, do you want to do the inspired actions and reflections on this one? So if you'd like to do some more to carry this and enhance the energy around this, you can strengthen your joy by softening your thoughts towards yourself and others. So be kinder in your thoughts, right? Drop the guilt, drop the shaming. Practice acceptance, compassion, understanding, grace. Sit in front of a mirror, look into your eyes, or if this is confronting, close your eyes and say, I love you. Take note of how you feel. You are learning to love yourself so you can recognize when another loves you. If you don't love yourself, you won't truly believe it when someone else does. So that's what your fear and your heart, soul fear is not being loved by your own self. Your soul fears that you don't love yourself enough to receive love from another. You can also spend time alone, forming a loving relationship with yourself. This is something I teach in my Magic Rose retreat. Self-love with the rose and rubbing it on your face and your skin to give yourself that love that you deserve, to build yourself up, to build your vibration up. So form a relationship with yourself. Say nice things to yourself. Take yourself out to dinner. Give yourself a bath. Treat yourself lovely like you would if you were your own partner, if you were your own lover. How would you want to be treated? Treat yourself that way. If you want to do some journal work, you can draw or write about 3 ways you feel love when you think about or are around others that you love. Think about those feelings often. So when you think about people that you love, how does that feel? Tap into those feelings. Think about those people you love and create those feelings over and over again so you continue to be in that awesome vibration of feeling like you're pure love unconditionally. Okay, Yep, that was the journal. So number 42, Inward Revolution. This is the action to take, inspired action to take. 42, Inward Revolution. And we're going to do a meditation with this one, so you can start to get comfy and close your eyes anytime, or I'll guide and direct you when we get there. So the way of your heart. You are always moving forward, even when you feel like you are going backward. Your path may seem to go up and down, or inward and outward. The spiral is a symbol of your soul journey. It represents the cyclical adventure into your heart center. You will continually revisit aspects of your life to bring you to deeper understanding. Difficulties and challenges can command a greater focus as they help to build bigger and better dreams and desires. Each cycle of life is an important stepping stone that expands into the next. Your life will only feel authentic when you come to your own conclusions. An inward revolution will open you to the wisdom of your soul. It is a path we must all take to truly know and love ourselves. From this place, we move outward, back into the world, empowered with our soul's wisdom. You are worthy of all you desire, no matter where you are in your spiral. Isn't that amazing how I mentioned the spiral journey and it goes up and up and up and down and you're preparing for the next level and you never stop, you just keep growing. And it's never linear, right? It's never just a straight line. It doesn't just go up like this. It goes up, down, backward side, up, down. Like life is like the geometric shapes, right? Life goes around and around in all these different ways. Let's do the meditation. So if you're ready, you can look at this card. You can place a hand on your heart. Close your eyes and begin to take a few deep breaths as you begin to journey inwards. With each breath that you take in, draw your awareness within. As you breathe out, simply and gently let go and allow everything to be just as it is. Imagine a golden path in front of you. Follow this path as it spirals downward to a deep, wise, and loving point of light. This is your center. Feel the absolute fullness of you and sense your access to universal wisdom and love. Allow yourself to move into a complete state of balance and peace. Stay in this feeling of balance and peace and know that you're here to better yourself, to know yourself better, and not to find absolute answers. Solutions will come as inspired actions as you discover the clarity at your center. Begin to follow the golden path outward. Feel the inherent power of this sacred design and notice how you feel as you move upward and outward within an expanded understanding of who you are. Breathe your expanded knowledge into your physical world. And when you feel ready, you can slowly wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and see through new eyes with new wisdom, knowledge, and love. You can listen to that again and again as many times as you need to. The message and information that comes to you might be different every time, and the feeling might be different, and it might get easier. If you want to continue to take some inspired reflections and actions to help integrate all of this energy this week, walk in a labyrinth as a conscious ritual for growth. That's really cool. If Gailey Farms or any of the cord mazes are still on, that might be a good chance for you. Dance in spinning spirals, just like the whirling dervishes whose dance is symbolic of the cosmic dance of the universe. I don't know who the dervishes are, the whirling dervishes. Anyways, you know how kids put their arms out and spin in spirals like that? Dance like that. That will help with your energy integration and shifting and living in the moment and living in joy. You can also paint spirals, draw spirals, and make spiral mosaics. Use any media or medium that appeals to you to create spirals, and imagine the controls of your mind loosening with each curve. What the heck? Okay, that's really cool. So draw right spirals and then imagine your mind loosening its control, right? Letting go to the universe and allowing something even better to come in its place. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to control and create everything alone. You have spirit and the universe as your partner. So loosen your control so you give room for spirit to come in. Create space for spirit. And if you want to do some journal work, you can draw or write about 3 emotional or physical patterns that you have repeated in your life. And then draw or write about something new you learned about yourself with each revolution. That one's really powerful. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I used to say all the time, I repeat lessons twice. I don't learn until after I make the second mistake. And so the first one, I always give myself a bit of grace because I recognize that I'm learning and I recognize that it's a mistake and a new experience. And then when I've encountered the same situation again, I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this before, but I might make the mistake again. And then it's after that I actually learn the lesson, where I reflect and realize, oh, now I've seen a pattern. Okay, now I won't repeat that mistake or lesson again. So when you come across a mistake or lesson, when you come across a challenge, ask yourself, is this a similar situation? Am I repeating the same thing over and over again? Often this shows up in relationships, right? We have the same fight over and over again. We have the same conflict, same difference of opinion, butting of heads, right? Where's the common ground? We need to find the common ground to create love, unconditional love, cooperation, and partnership. And so when we repeat those same patterns, we're now asking through all of these cards and meditation to become aware so that we can have that awareness and make changed actions, make different behaviors, make different choices. When we are aware, we can do something different. So once we recognize that revolution as a pattern, we say, wait a minute, I'm not doing that again. I know, I recognize this now. I'm gonna take a different course of action. I don't know if you've ever watched, what are they called, that show with Seinfeld? Yeah, it's called Seinfeld. I think there was one episode where George was like, I'm gonna do everything that I would normally not do. I'm gonna do everything different than I would normally do. What would George do? I'm gonna do the opposite. That's an example of when you recognize your self-repeating behaviors or patterns, that you can consciously choose to do something different and then see and observe the results. Remember the pet one? And it said, imagine your pet as a companion, not just something you own, and observe and watch how your pet behaves. When you change your perspective, when you change your attitude and behavior, notice the effect of those around you. Notice how your energy shift impacts the energy of others and the behaviors of others. It's really fascinating. Thank you for joining me today in my messy hair. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and week ahead. what beautiful light and colors we have in our video today. Namaste. Thank you for joining.